Hi, welcome to Out and About. I'm Jeff Londash, and 'tis the season. We're back down here on Mahoning Avenue with Todd Hancock, and it's time for
Miracle on Easy Street, but a TV.
Sort of.
Yes. All new.
Yes.
All new. It's a TV special this
Sit
year.
back because it's going to happen, but it's a little bit different.
That's right. Well, last year, everything was closed. All the theaters were closed. Everybody was sheltered at home.
The Shell on Meridian was open. That's
right. And we were out front with a tin cup. But other than that, there was no entertainment going on at all. So we approached WFMJ with this idea of turning our Christmas spectacular, the stage show, into a TV special.
And that's because you literally just couldn't do it last year.
Yeah, and a lot of things were hurdles last year. I mean, we were doing all of our workshops online, Zoom style. We had to film everything kind of Zoom style. In other words, one dancer at a time and put it all together. This year, it's nice because we don't have to do everything Zoom style. Now, of course, the kids who are just getting vaccinated, and that's why we're doing the TV special again, I should say. It's we've been patiently waiting for this child vaccine to become available, and it did, but too late for us. I mean, by the time the kids would be fully vaccinated, our show would be over. So Maureen and I made the decision in early November. We just decided to switch it to a TV special again this year.
So, stop right there. That's what I want to make clear to everybody. It's hard to pull off a live presentation now because of COVID, and the reasoning is because if someone shows up positive, that because of tracing and everything, then you basically have to shut down the show. And to pull this off is a very expensive endeavor, and not only that, but a very time-involved endeavor too.
Exactly. I mean, some people say, well, we're going back to football games, sporting arenas are open, why can't you pull this off? The problem is, one, is kids will be unvaccinated, in other words, not considered fully vaccinated to do the show. It's spreading the most, or it's at least the most dangerous for people who are unvaccinated. So we weren't going to risk the health of these kids to do the show. But also, I mean, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. There's weeks and weeks of rehearsal, over 5 or 6 weeks of rehearsal that we would have to get through. Again, without the kids, we could do rehearsals in masks, and there's other things that we could keep them socially distanced. But it's just really difficult with 150 young people to keep them all separated and healthy and safe. So this year, once these kids are getting all their vaccinations, they're still getting them. Next year, I mean, I'm sure we'll be able to return to our live performances without worrying about who's unvaccinated. Everyone's going to be vaccinated to be in the show, but without worrying about any unvaccinated kids getting COVID. That's the problem.
And there have been live shows in the area that have been scheduled and literally had to, went through all of that, went through all the expense of putting it on, all the rehearsals, and then some of the cast gets COVID and they have to shut it down.
Yeah, and we just did a live performance of Nonsense. We kept our fingers crossed through the whole process. We were having, it was only 5 women in the cast too, and myself and the music director were here for the rehearsals. And even during our rehearsal period with only 5 women, 2 of them had brushes with COVID. In other words, they were exposed to it. Yeah. So we went back to doing rehearsals, online or via Zoom for the weeks while they got their tests back, and found out, thankfully, they were not positive, and we were able to do the show. But not so lucky for a few of our friends right across the street. The Hopewell Theater had to cancel a show, and just last week, Dana had to cancel a concert for the same reason. It's not like the old days. I mean, Maureen and I have been doing Miracle on Easy Street. Now this would be our 33rd year. Wow. Now we've had to power through the show with, all kinds of, a cold, flu, whatever, but we got through it. In other words, one of us would sit in the corner, drinking orange juice. You blew your nose, you went on stage, you did your show, and then you went back off. And if you felt miserable, you did it off stage. But now it's a different story. With this COVID, I mean, if you get it, you come up positive, you might not be feeling bad, but you can't do the show. You can't risk, other people's health by being in the show. And Maureen and I, and a few of the old fogies, I call them in the cast, if one of us went down the week of the show, it would be extremely difficult to try to make it work without them. Maureen does so much in the show. I do a lot of the co-hosting in the show. It would be tricky to pull it off. One year we had to do it when I went down 2 years ago with heart surgery, and that was a week before the show, and we had to do a lot of rearranging right before the show, and we didn't want to try to have to to do that again with this year, because it's just not worth the risk.
Yeah. So now it's still going to go on, though. There is going to be a Miracle on Easy Street.
Yes, there is. And the cool thing about it is what I was talking about earlier. Last year we were kind of constricted in the way that we could film it. We had to do everything Zoom style. We had to be very clever with things, like we did a Santa number where the dancers had masks on underneath their beards, so you couldn't really tell. And if you watched the TV special last year, I don't think you really knew that it was during COVID. We kind of worked out ways around it that it didn't make it a big deal. The nice thing about this year is we can film all together now. I mean, the adults are vaccinated, so we can film songs, and the older dancers, we could film them together, whereas we couldn't do that last year. We were all separately filmed and put together later. So it's going to make for a much nicer TV special. But the twist this year is, instead of us filming the whole thing at the Dior, which is where we do the show every year, we're going to different historical locations in town. So we're going to the Arms Museum, the Butler Institute of American Art, St. Patrick's Church, the Boardman Meeting House in Boardman, and some venues in Mill Creek Park. So not only are we going to kind of celebrate Christmas, but we're going to celebrate Youngstown as well by doing it in all these different locations.
And how the rehearsals are all done, so...
Yeah, we did the rehearsals, many of the rehearsals for the kids we did online for the little rascals who aren't vaccinated. The dancers came in here into the studio and worked for weeks leading up to our filming. We just finished the filming right before Thanksgiving. So now it's putting it all together, editing it and doing all the stuff to make it come alive on the screen.
Alrighty, so now what happens now? It just goes right to WFMJ, and they're going to broadcast this for the Valley to enjoy.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about it is it's not only just a TV special, and it kind of continues the tradition. I didn't want to ever have a year where we've done this show ever since we've been open. So we've been open 33 years, and I wasn't about to let the special, the Christmas show go down. And the Christmas show for us is everything. I mean, we could put on something in the fall or something in the spring that maybe won't sell as many tickets, but we've always had Christmas to lean on. It's our big show of the year. Somehow we get over 10,000 people in a weekend between all the local. We get thousands of local school kids that come in for the show, and then we get thousands more of just public performances. And so that show has really kept Easy Street in business for the past 30 years, and it's been tough. The last 2 years without any shows have been extremely tough to get by. We've been doing some workshops online and stuff, but it's really, it doesn't pay the bills without support from people making donations. So we're going to turn this TV special into kind of a fundraiser for Easy Street. Sure, you can watch it at home for free, but we're also going to ask people if they wouldn't mind donating. Even the price of a ticket would help us continue to have miracles for many years to come, and with shows that hopefully we'll be doing in 2022.
Did you ever see the movie UHF?
Yeah.
I see a telethon coming on.
Yeah, right. Well, they kind of got rid of the telethons. Maybe we should bring it back.
That's right.
Roll those numbers. I can do that.
Stanley Spakowski's clubhouse thing going here.
We'll have to think of some way to keep in business. Without tickets, it's tough for a live theater, and it's not just Easy Street. I mean, all theaters are struggling.
Even concert venues, the same thing too.
Yeah.
Their ticket sales have been way off because of COVID and people not wanting to go.
Yeah, and people have been coming back. I mean, we had audiences for Nonsense, and I have seen audiences going to other things. I don't think they're back to full force yet, and I think that's going to take a little while longer for people to feel comfortable. I think outdoor concerts are fine. I think everyone in the summer and in the early fall were going to outdoor concerts. I don't think that anything affected them. But now that we're coming back indoors, I think that people are a little bit more cautious, especially with kids that aren't vaccinated yet. Coming to a show like Miracle, that's what we count on. We count on parents bringing their kids and grandparents bringing their grandkids. So we knew this year was going to be tough, even if they were able to get vaccinated in time. But
So when's this going to air on FMJ?
The premiere is December 20th. And the neat thing about it is WFMJ, NBC, has over the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, they're getting into these live musical things where they produce a musical live on TV, and they've had all kinds of different shows, Grease and whatnot. But this year at Christmas time, their big TV live musical is going to be Annie. And anyone that's been to one of Easy Street's musicals in the past know that we named Easy Street Productions for the number Easy Street from Annie, because we've done that like 3 or 4 times over the years. And Maureen has always been Miss Hannigan, and I'm Rooster. We're the bad guys in the show. But it's always been a fun show for us to do. And when they said, "How would you like to lead into that?" I said, "Oh, perfect."
Kind of perfect, yeah.
So it just seemed like it was just like the perfect thing. It's going to be a nice night of family entertainment for our show leading into that.
And then I'm guessing that at certain times it is, then you'll come on and do a little a plea for having people make a donation.
And again, it's going to be nice because even if you saw it last year, it's different this year, with the new locations and whatnot. But we're really proud of it, and I can't say enough about our choreographer Megan Cleland, who's come in and worked with the kids. Under these kind of conditions is not easy. Especially filming is completely different than for when you do something on TV.
Yeah.
So she had to rethink all of her choreography for all of the numbers. The parents who've let their kids be involved in this thing, from the littlest little rascals doing it online, and these Easy Street dancers that come back every year and to get to perform in the show, it's fantastic. So we've got this wonderful support group of parents and kids, and our musicians, our music director Don Yalich, he's had to rearrange things for us, and so it's TV and stage are completely different. But I think that we're going to have the best of what's on stage on TV.
This could be an hour-long performance?
Yeah, it's an hour long. So we got a lot to cram into that hour. Normally our show on stage is 2 hours. And we can't do things like the sing-along and the things like that. Elvis Claus, I won't be making.
Elvis is not coming this year.
He won't make an appearance this year.
He's not coming into the building.
He only comes around on Christmas Eve, let's face it. But the best of what people love about the show for the past 30 years is going to be on that TV show, and we know people will enjoy it.
All right. So go ahead and give them the times once again.
The Miracle on Easy Street TV special will premiere on December 20th at 7 p.m. That's on WFMJ, Channel 21. It will be repeated on WBCB, which is also a locally owned TV station, the sister station of WFMJ. It'll be on WBCB on December 22nd at 7 p.m. And then we run 2 times on Christmas Day, which is really cool.
That's nice.
Christmas morning, right after the Today Show on NBC, will be at 8:30 in the morning. And then later in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, we'll be on WBCB again for on Christmas. So when you're unwrapping your gifts or you're going over to grandma's for, that Christmas dinner, you'll be able to check it out too.
So if you're sitting there right now and you want to do something nice for somebody in the holiday season, in the tradition of giving, the arts are very, very important here at the Mahoning Valley. And right now, it's very difficult. Todd's living it, and every other person involved in the entertainment industry, whether it's through putting on plays or going out and doing music at some bars or whatever, they're all struggling. They're just trying to keep it perpetuating. And one nice thing about Easy Street is it's just not a group for adults that are out there putting on plays. What you do with the Little Rascals, especially Maureen, is just phenomenal. And how many, probably thousands of kids over the last 30 years that you've touched and helped bring them into better people by giving them the self-confidence of being on stage and helping them that way. So if you can this year, when you're watching it, maybe what's the cost of a ticket?
Well, normally, for an adult ticket, it would be about $25. So
$25.
that's what we ask people if they see the show, they enjoy it, they want to make a donation, make it for a ticket or two. That would be fine. If the people out there, watching it would do that, it would be fantastic. It certainly would keep us in business for another year and keep the miracles coming.
And what's the address that they could send it to if they're watching right now?
There's going to be a link right on the TV broadcast, and you can make it as easy as your phone. Just text the information that we give you on the TV special, and it'll go right to Easy Street Productions.
And if they wanted to send a check here to
You could send it to Easy Street Productions. We're at 865 Mahoning Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio.
There you go. So please watch it. You'll enjoy it. We know it's going to be a phenomenal show. Maureen's in it. That's why.
Thank God.
Yeah. That'd be somebody that keeps it.
I do occasionally sing, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, thank God Maureen's in it.
And I'm usually the comedy relief, you know. That's why. So thank God there's talent in the show.
So until we could pull off our telethon.
That's right.
We got to keep you going here. So please watch it on FMJ and WBCB. Todd, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year, and I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal production.
Thanks for coming.
All righty. You take care and have a great holiday season. And again, catch the show, send a little donation their way, help them keep Easy Street Productions going for everybody in the Mahoning Valley. You take care. Happy holidays to everyone. See you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.